Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and it is finally time to watch some more Death Battle. It feels so surreal to be able to say that, but they are now successfully independent after so long of uncertainty and raising for the Kickstarter. It's amazing now that they are successfully independent and we can see what they have been cooking, starting with Omni-Man from Invincible versus Bardock from Dragon Ball. I know this was shown a few days ago at the live event. Thankfully, I have not been spoiled whatsoever. The only stuff I know about this episode is like the footage that they showed in the Kickstarter trailer, but that was forever ago. So I'm basically going into this blind and I cannot wait to see this. I've talked about how much I like this matchup before. I think the connections are cool. I think the fight dynamic is cool. Like the connective tissue about them being, alien warrior dads. Like I think that's a really interesting topic for Death Battle to cover and what that means in terms of the interpersonal relationships. I'm really excited for the analyses as much as I am for the animation, to be honest. But yeah, so in terms of who I'm rooting for, I gotta go with Omni-Man here. I'm just more personally attached to him. I love watching him and reading him and just seeing him be the asshole that he is, but also, the kind of good person that he is. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but, he's been wishy-washy, let's just say that. But I do really like Omni-Man. I personally like him more than Bardock. Nothing against Bardock. In my Death Battle prediction video that I made a while back, I did side with Bardock. However, that is also dependent on what Death Battle decides to include, which technically we don't know for sure until we watch the episode. So if Omni-Man ends up winning because, they didn't include something I expected them to or whatever, then, that's just kind of the way it is. You can't always get it right. Or maybe Omni-Man will just win because he wins. We'll have to see what Death Battle has to say about it, but I am still really excited to see how this goes. I just want to sit back and see what they got to say. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, we're getting previews again. That's cool. All right, let's go.
Omni-Man versus
Whoa.
Bardock, the ostracized
Okay, a little
Viltrumite
different.
and the doomed Saiyan. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Very quick intro.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons.
We can see a lot of the battle too early.
Who would win a death battle?
Okay, I'm down. Let's go.
Omni-Man, Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all manner of threats.
I already miss
And then,
Invincible, even though Season 2 basically just ended.
It all went horribly
Well, kinda.
wrong. Why Omni-Man? How Omni-Man? Who Omni-Man? Who indeed? Champion best-selling author J.K. Simmons was all a charade, with his murderous rampage only brought to a halt thanks to his own son.
That is such a cool effect.
Planet, Viltrum,
Who's editing this one again? Is it DJ and Max?
Through brutal,
really good job so far.
With a K. Or wait, no, that came later.
Among the most I like how they put Omni-Man and Homelander.
Even more so after they purged the weaker members of their species. As a
he likes bugs.
Empire,
Ain't that the truth?
Infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial assimilation.
Right.
It should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers, and he's basically invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week. Thraxa is
okay, so this is moving between galaxies. His speed is insane. Yeah.
Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum Galaxy, which is over 2.7 million light-years away.
This is going to be massively faster than light no matter how you cut it.
Over 142 million times faster
there you go.
Light.
Oh, and Viltrumites can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the whole way. And it's
right.
not like he was in a rush. He was on a soul-searching trip, contemplating the significance of smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is why I'm never having kids.
You're missing out. But according to another Viltrumite,
how many kids does Boomstick have again?
Other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion times faster than light.
You don't really need
wow, that's
anyway.
A jump.
The older a Viltrumite gets, the slower.
Damn, okay.
According to the Invincible Handbook, Nolan is over 2,000 years old.
Right.
And regardless of age, Viltrumites don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed
well, he's really not built for that.
Was born.
Well, you
not
would
to
have
start
to be a
anyway.
Viltrumite first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can effectively recall certain states of being regardless of their present environment. Reacting
like it kind of always has been, but
this is
really cool.
Impossible.
Yeah, like surviving your intestines getting ripped out, or
yeah.
even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once. Only a Viltrumite.
He's voiced by Optimus Prime, right?
Nolan
That was cool to hear.
Incredibly tough, but if he faces superior forces, his smart atoms can adjust to make him even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites
Okay, but
are
to what
considered
extent?
Invincible.
Most weapons in the universe can't even scratch a Viltrumite like him.
Even a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Okay.
Planets, he's strong
So they
enough
are
to shatter
factoring in
one
that
by
scaling.
flying straight
Interesting.
through it. A planet so big it has a whole
Right.
ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be in
So how
order
big
to
is this
disperse
planet?
orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support such a ring,
Right.
meaning this one must be much larger.
And don't get me started on how the ring
But he
is
did have
actually
help.
made up of dead bodies because, spoilers, just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for you, this planet also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At
Right.
minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles.
Okay.
Comparing this to the planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth. Or
That's
it
many
was
times.
Before, you know, kablam.
Now, Omni-Man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitched frequency,
Right.
which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
Not sure how
But
much
his
Bardock can really
weakness
take
turned
advantage
out
of
to
those,
be,
but
you guessed
they
it,
exist.
Fatherhood. Thanks to his
That's
son
another
Mark,
weakness,
Nolan
yeah.
began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife.
Omni-Man
Who's a
Jr.,
bug.
right?
The bug lady, he banged a bug.
Yeah.
Why, Omni-Man? How?
How, Omni-Man?
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was
I'm
lecturing
sure,
to
but
Mark
that's a
about
little
how
weird.
insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan
Well-
Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent. It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed, Omni-Man.
All right, nice.
In the far
So
reaches
that was
of the
Omni-Man, but now we got
cosmos, lay a
Bardock.
world with a people like
I was expecting
no
an ad
other,
in between,
born
but
and raised
I
to
guess
do
we're not getting
just
one.
thing. Fight.
The
Yep.
Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by, King Vegeta. Well, narcissist punch.
Exactly.
Well-
their pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning
Best at
glory
the time,
days.
sure.
Bardock. He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude, and if he goes apeshit, you're totally
So this is where I feel like I really got to pay
screwed.
attention
Guess
to know what they're
He's
including.
Father of Goku.
Because he's
I never
weird.
would've guessed.
Right? What a curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Oh, no,
Bardock
no,
was a
not
cold-blooded
today.
Killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They
Uh-huh.
didn't just conquer planets, they wiped
Yeah, he's
out
only
every
30
living
plus
thing,
years old.
leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away.
Rocks a sick bandana.
Bardock was an asshole. Well, until he wasn't.
Bardock's story
Well,
has
yeah,
evolved over
again,
the years, with
Omni-Man
multiple
similarities.
iterations to draw from.
Including one where he's a brilliant scientist.
No.
But only
Mistranslations,
one is
get outta
considered
here.
officially canon. Bardock's demeanor began
Okay.
to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Guinea.
So they
and
might
had
be a
2
little
sons,
more-
Raditz and Kakarot.
Right, Raditz and
No, Bardock
Kakarot.
didn't
They might
go
be a little more
totally
selective
soft.
of what
He
they
was still a
include.
ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his? It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends. Hardcore.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Bardock
that's
could fly,
hardcore.
moved faster than light, and was naturally adept in using his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw you
Yeah,
nature,
lots of different
Bardock's
ki
moves are
abilities,
all
but
about
a lot of them are still
overwhelming
energy.
power. His final spirit cannon is like
Oh,
a
Super
ki-powered
Saiyan is under
bazooka.
transformations.
His rebellion hammer punches
There we go.
enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move
Oh,
you to the
jeez.
next guy. All in a day's work for a
The
Saiyan.
editing is...
Marriage didn't
I love the
change
editing
that.
so far.
While Bardock cared for Guinea, in fact being one of few Saiyans of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock
Right.
was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
Well,
But they
unlikely
would
doesn't
still
mean
possess
certain,
the
as we've
Saiyan's
seen.
Power, a transformation that was the key to their planetary devastation.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey!
Under the light
Great
of a
Ape
full moon,
Uzaru.
a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into
10
an
times, yeah.
unstoppable kaiju. Quick, someone call RWBY.
While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth.
Right.
Prince Vegeta's control is so precise he can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full tilt gorilla.
Although, does he
The
have
Saiyan
to?
Strategy is pretty much just
I guess
monkey see,
it does
monkey
limit
smash.
strategy,
Despite being
remembering things about the
low-class,
fight,
Bardock's
but
power
still.
level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at
Yeah.
once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Now, how big are these
Yeah,
planets,
we know
though? That's
power
the
levels
question.
are kind of janky. Nobody can agree on what the number really
Right.
means.
Outside of his fight with Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his
Yeah.
potential.
Like
They
when
still-
his
they
son
still should be
fought Prince
relative to
Vegeta.
each other.
What's the scouter say about his power level? It's over
8,000. Yeah, there we
Yeah, the
go.
dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According
Yeah,
to
we know
this
the
movie
truth.
pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000.
Okay,
This lines up with
same
that
as King
previous
Vegeta.
reading and puts him on par with Bardock.
Yeah.
Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah,
Yes.
early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star, which is impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside
Oh
Earth's
boy,
quadrant
here
of
we
the
go.
universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey.
Okay.
Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed of light.
And Goku would have had to keep up with
Wow.
that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes
Yeah.
sense given far weaker characters could reach the moon in a fraction of a second. Should be
Okay, so
trivial
that's
enough for Bardock.
that's
All
quick.
This speed and power meant when Bardock and his team assaulted the planet Cereal, they went cheerio.
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating
Oh,
its
puns.
people, until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity. But Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son.
Aw.
He chose to spare the two, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from his own Frieza Force allies. who
Good for
taunted that
Bardock.
Frieza
Character
had
development.
dire plans for the Saiyan's future.
This
It's good if they
moment
start out
changed
crummy and
Bardock,
then
making
get
him
better.
more appreciative of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all the Saiyans were called back to planet Vegeta for mysterious reasons, he had a hunch something was up. So before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with the tyrant, he sent his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that
Yeah.
allowed his son to thrive. And hey,
And become
that's
way
what good
better.
parents do.
A choice that would
Way-
have a
yeah,
greater
way better than he
significance
ever could have
Bardock
imagined.
Could ever imagine.
There you
The
go.
dildo dickhead blew him all up and he died. Or did he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these two who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah blah blah. No
Okay.
canon, whatever. He survived.
Sure,
And when
yeah,
he
yeah.
realized what happened, he got so unbelievably
And then we get to the
pissed
Super
off, he went
Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. What?
All right, this is very much an alternate universe what-if scenario,
Yeah.
and it is jarring. But think about it. The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, failure,
Yep.
love, and loss. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own.
Right.
But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what-if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn.
I don't expect a lot of people to
Bardock,
agree with
who
all of
figured out
that,
how to
but
be the truest
it is an
Saiyan
example
right at
of
the
what could
end it
happen
all.
in canon.
I know
That's the way I
Kakarot
see it.
would be proud.
All right, sweet.
Hey, shout out to everyone who believed in us during our recent
Hell yeah.
crowdfunding.
And joining you in
I
that support
donated.
is the first ever sponsor for an independent Death
Yep,
Battle
we
episode.
got a lot of stuff.
Manscaped's newest masterpiece
Oh,
is
we got
the
Manscaped
Lawnmower
now. Okay.
5.0 Ultra in
I think I'll just
forged
skip the
gold.
rest of this
Talk
if there's
about a
nothing
fancy name.
Death Battle
This special
related.
edition.
Okay, so that was that.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Feels good to hear you say
It's
that,
time
Wiz.
for a death battle!
Time for a death battle! And pause. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be talking about this that much. I am now more confident that Bardock is going to win. Just ensuring now that they are including the Super Saiyan form, which I noticed that they didn't actually say how much of a power increase it gives you, because I feel like that would kind of give too much away. because the Super Saiyan increase is a base multiplier of 50. It doesn't multiply the Great Ape Uzaru form or anything. It doesn't stack, but it does multiply your base power by 50. Now, that's also the kind of thing they didn't talk that much about Bardock's exact level of power, but they did still say that he was comparable to King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets in an attack, and even if those planets were Earth-sized, which, you know, they would have to be significantly less than Earth-sized for the 50 times multiplier to not surpass the, you know, the size of the planet that Omni-Man and the other two Viltrumites blew up, which, again, by the way, he had help to do that, so I feel like in terms of the power difference, it does lie in Bardock's favor, especially with the Super Saiyan form, and the speed too. Just, I was under the impression that Omni-Man was faster, but I guess I didn't really take into account, you know, other Saiyans that occurred later, because I was just, you know, thinking about comparing Bardock to the Saiyans that, you know, were around at his time. But again, if we are trying to say that these power level numbers are relative to each other, then yeah, it makes perfect sense to look at other characters while they were around that power level, you know? So it seems to me like Bardock is significantly faster. I have to imagine he's stronger, especially at his maximum. He has more varied techniques. I think he could probably kill Omni-Man. Well, okay, there was that one thing about, you know, Omni-Man destroying the superstructure, like that was partially the size of a star. I don't know how durable they're going to say that is, or if they're even going to go back to it. They put a lot more focus on the planet-destroying feats, so we'll see about that, but I'm still willing to bet that Bardock is stronger at his strongest. And yeah, it seems like he should be able to kill Omni-Man. If he can just vaporize him with a key attack that's strong enough to overcome his durability, like, Omni-Man's not going to come back from that. And again, you know, too much trauma to the brain or heart can overtax a Viltrumite healing factor. So if Bardock just incinerates him, that's kind of it. So he's way more versatile. He seems stronger and faster at his best. You know, Omni-Man has handled beings as big as the Great Ape Uzaru, and maybe his smart atoms could adjust to help him match that level of power. But even then, like, again, especially with the Super Saiyan form, I just think that's too much to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to see Omni-Man win. I guess I'm still technically rooting for him, but I gotta still side with Bardock. If Omni-Man does win, they're gonna have to, you know, pull out a bunch of stuff that either they haven't talked about or I've just missed. So I think Bardock is gonna win. Let's watch this animation. I'm so excited. The sound design is already, like, that already hooked me. So we know that's Bardock. I don't even want to know how long it took to, like, make this set. Make this 3D environment.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
So he is on the bug planet. I hear some elements of Diabolical Invincible Me in the track. Oh, this fight isn't yours to conquer? Did he say that? That's fun. Okay, let's go! Some sheer eye candy. Oh yeah, and the teleportation's gonna help him too.
Just like my son, sticking his nose in places he's not right.
So entitled, Omni-Man.
Kick his ass.
And hey, he's fine. I mean, Omni-Man is still a powerhouse. I can't even imagine how hype this was at the live premiere. Yo! Okay. I'm digging the track.
Whatever you
Ouch!
are, you're an embarrassment.
I'm assuming this is Uzaru because of the moon. Yep.
Wait till
Okay.
you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Okay, and we knew that one was coming in the fight animation because of the Kickstarter. It'd also be weird if it just didn't
Am
show
I
up.
supposed to be impressed?
I mean, maybe. But again, he's handled people at this size, so might not intimidate him. Damn, the background. That. Yeah, there's no way it's gonna end like that. Oh, damn! I love when they use the environment. And he doesn't remember. You might want to get out of there. We're leaving the planet. Oh, shoot. I wouldn't go there, Bardock. Oh. The Super Saiyan.
My sons, leave me. I won't let you take me from my world.
You will pay for what you've done! I don't know if it's gonna end right here, but... yeah. You okay, Omni-Man? Oh! Okay, I'm wondering if Omni-Man's gonna splatter his body on Bardock. That'd be very fitting.
Your time is up! Saiyan!
Oh no, he's splattering! Oh shit!
Saiyan, remember it.
Did Omni-Man win? I have to imagine it's over. That was insane.
Fuck.
Okay, Omni-Man won.
Okay, these Gokus have got to stop
I do have to
taking
hear
fights
it
with guys in
though.
capes.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Starting
Okay,
with
similar to
speed.
Goku versus
Bardock is
Superman.
much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times
Yeah,
light
that
speed,
seemed
much
obvious.
higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan,
Uh-huh.
it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage.
Which is not
but
what I was
strength
expecting
and
at all.
durability are another story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales to King Veggie, who wrecked 3 planets at once, and Omni-Man only smashed 1. But given how big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar, until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major
Okay.
plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
So, when their ships
Okay.
obliterated this
So they
gigantic
are going
solar
back to
disk,
this.
it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disc completely blocked the sunlight.
This is
and
interesting,
heat
'cause in the
from
Death
planet
Battle
and its
cast,
star.
they seemed
And this is no
skeptical,
ordinary
but
planet. Its
I guess they're
size and
accepting it
density
now.
are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light
Okay.
to such a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disc would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted
I'm gonna pretend
view
like I
between the sun
understand
and
all of
satellite.
this.
And the disc itself must be about half the diameter of the star in question.
Okay.
This means the scaling of the disc puts it at 3 septillion tons,
That's 24 zeros.
which makes Omni-Man over 11,000
Okay.
times stronger than base Bardock.
Not even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference.
Right.
So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility in combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Well, versatility
Omni-Man
seems like it would
survives in space for much longer.
be Bardock,
but
though.
barely squeaks out the edge here, thanks to his ranged versatility with
Yeah.
attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing.
Okay.
It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all. However, even with the form included, Nolan still takes this, especially when it comes to our last 2 categories, experience and stamina.
Well, yeah,
Omni-Man's
experience
been
is a
around
no-brainer.
lot longer than Bardock, over 2,000 years, and even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form drains the user's energies at an increased rate. Which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Saiyans like
Yeah,
Bardock can fight
it's
for
starting
days
to
on
come
end,
together
but only
now.
for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him
Right.
travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy.
There's still, I
speed
imagine there
and
has to
power
be a
made him
limit to
real
that,
challenge.
But
yeah.
Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable and unshakable force that would inevitably land.
Special
the
thanks to the
killing blow.
Kickstarter.
When
That's
push came
awesome.
to shove, Omni-Man raised the bar. Doug.
The winner is Omni-Man.
All right, congratulations, Omni-Man. Oh, shoot, next time. Okay, what do we got? Oh, shit! Oh, no! Oh,
Subscribe.
no, God. Oh, my God. Joker versus Giorno. Persona versus JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, that's a different way of doing the trailer. I wasn't expecting that to come out right away. If anything, I was even expecting just Bowser versus Eggman to be the next one. We know that one's coming later this year, and there's only 4 episodes, so it's either 3rd or 4th. Oh, but Jesus Christ. This one is gonna be rough. And it probably means I'm gonna get this prediction wrong, too. Oh, God. Weirdly enough, though, I've actually started preparing for this one a long time ago, because back when, the end of Galactus versus Unicron was shown with, like, the tarot cards and stuff, I assumed Joker versus Giorno would be coming, so I started doing some preliminary research and started, looking more into it. So, oddly enough, I could probably get the prediction out quite soon, but yikes. I cannot wait. This is so sarcastic. I really would not like to see the toxicity, but I cannot wait for the toxicity. Okay, that's gonna be interesting, and that means a lot of you guys would have already known about this, right? If you went to the live premiere. Like, obviously, everyone who's watching this should have already seen the episode, but everyone who went to the live premiere would have known about this for a few days, I assume. Wow. Okay. Cool. How much time do we have left in the video? Okay. I imagine they're not going to be revealing the rematch vote winner yet. That might come later, but okay. Joker versus Giorno. Can't wait. I don't even know what to say. It's like, again, like, I was kind of expecting to see it at some point, but it's just the fact that it's happening now is just kind of taking me by surprise, but we will see how that goes. Anyway, talking about this episode, so I enjoyed this episode a lot. I think, like I said, I think the editing was great. I think, the animation really utilized the characters well, utilized the environment, what the characters are capable of. And the analyses I thought were thorough. It was really just because I was so confident in Bardock after hearing that. Like, I was like, I'm even more confident now that Bardock's going to win. It was really just a matter of Omni-Man being stronger, like stronger than the Super Saiyan. I was even saying, they didn't talk about the superstructure that much. I kind of just assume it's going to be, it's not going to be as impressive, but no, that's why they save things for the conclusion, to keep you on your toes. And I would have assumed, like I said in my, in the middle, I would have assumed that, that Bardock, in his Super Saiyan form, or I guess, no, they already did say that in his Super Saiyan form, it does jump up the power, but it seems like the feats that King Vegeta had and, Nolan with blowing up the planet, it seemed like they were pretty even, which is fair. Like, I'm not going to question the math, but I'm assuming that all makes sense. And yeah, if you really factor in the other stuff, like look at really what a Viltrumite should be capable of in the context of its world, of the world of Invincible, then yeah, it makes sense to me. And yeah, the speed difference, I guess it's just not as... And like, even in my prediction video, I thought Bardock was stronger and Omni-Man was faster, but it's the exact opposite. At least, though, I can say that the advantages played out in the way I assumed they would. That the strength and durability is more important than the speed, but it just turned out to be flipped. So yeah, definitely some things I didn't consider, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I don't need to get every prediction right. I'm just here to enjoy some death battle. But that was still fun. The reasoning makes enough sense to me. And to the people who don't think Super Saiyan should be used, you should be able to rest easy now, knowing that Death Battle doesn't even believe Super Saiyan is good enough to take him down. So, good on you there. And yeah, again, the analyses I thought were thorough. Definitely covered a lot of good stuff. The conclusion was thorough. Yeah, no, I'm very satisfied with this. One thing I am now noticing, though, is that there were no animated whiz and boomstick moments in here, which I'm assuming now is part of the cost cutting. And I got to admit, I think that is a good way to do that, because I would prefer that to happen than for the editing to be worse, or for the animation to be worse, or anything. I think those whiz and boomstick moments, while they can be funny sometimes, and while, you know, they can kind of break up the analyses in certain parts, maybe to not make it feel as overwhelming, I think that is like the one thing to get rid of first, because it's not necessary. And Death Battle was surviving for a long time without needing to use those animated whiz and boomstick segments. So I'm perfectly fine with that if that's how they needed to do it. In terms of other cost cutting, though, I don't know. I can't really think of like a single individual thing that stood out, that it was worse because of the cost cutting. If there was, they're hiding it really well. So, you know, I'm very satisfied with this episode. Nothing stands out to me as bad. I think, you know, again, everything was explained really well. The animation was fun to watch. I'm definitely going to watch it more often. And they definitely had me. You know, I was really thinking Bardock was going to win, but I am still happy to see Nolan be victorious, because I do like Omni-Man a lot, and I like the series Invincible. Again, nothing against Bardock and nothing against Dragon Ball. That's just the way it is for me. But yeah, that's really all I got to say for this episode. You know, if you enjoyed this episode, let me know down in the comments below. Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for the next one? Maybe. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and maybe even subscribe if you could too. That would be amazing. That would really help the channel out. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.